Air, the national carrier, a lot of controversies. Joining me right now to give me his own perspective is the President, Federation of Tourism Association of Nigeria, Rabo, Saleh Kareem. Mr. Kareem, good to see you on the show and welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
I do know you listened to the, I don't know if you listened to the interview I had with Ayobami just a moment ago. Yeah. Which side of the divide do you belong to? Because I know that for some tourism practitioners, just like I mentioned earlier on, like Otuba Rusha, where I did read that he is in support, but that the business should be done well. People should indeed pay adequately when Nigeria Air commences. Do you think that Nigeria is ready for a national carrier right now with all the challenges that we've doled out?
Well, for me, I think we are ready for that because there's no country or there's no event that doesn't have challenges. Whatever you're going to do in life, you have to first of all have at the back of your mind that there's always going to be two sides of it. There's the positive side and there's the negative side. So we have to look at and see which one has the greatest advantage for us.
But there are a lot of negatives right now outweighing, because if you put it on a scale, the negatives are more like this. We've had a lot of failures in the past trying to flag off national carriers. We've not started adequate preparation. It's beyond going to London to flag a logo that was not even designed by Nigerians to... What are we saying?
I think as Nigerians, we have to be positive.
I understand that.
You see, let me make
positive in doing things adequately and the right way. Not you should be positive when you are doing the wrong thing. That means you are mad.
Well, I don't want to agree with the fact that we are doing the wrong thing. Because these people that are doing or handling the Nigerian Airways issue are professionals also. Don't forget the fact that the Minister of Aviation is a pilot himself.
I understand that.
Therefore, whatever he's going to do, I think he's also putting his neck, he's taking himself on the line. And you have to look at it that for how long have they been doing this preparation? For us, I think as a travel agent and also a tour operator, I think I still want to say that I'm on the line of the fact that we should have a national carrier. Nigeria is big enough. Yeah. We cannot continue to depend on Ethiopia and other countries to survive or to run our aviation as a nation. But we need to copy from them. We make mistakes. We have to agree that, yes, we have had some failures in the past. But are we going to continue to sit down and say that we are continue to be failures?
I think to an extent, I would certainly agree with you that there could be a case for a national carrier if things are done well. Bearing in mind that the #1 economy in Africa, populous black nation, for perhaps the sense of pride and all of that, but are things done well? That's it. As we speak now, right now, Nigeria Airways staff are being owed 45 billion naira in benefits. A lot of them have died. No one is addressing that. How do you attend to the future? How do you know where you're going to when you've not really made reconciliation with your past?
I think you have to look at it again. They are addressing it. I remember some few months back, the issue of the all staff of Nigerian Airways were being addressed, and they were looking at how they were going to settle their payments. And I remember the president gave a directive that they should all be paid. See, I think we have to be looking at things separately or differently. We shouldn't just lump them together to say, okay, because we have failed, because we've not been able to.
Again.
Yes, we cannot be like if you check in history, they say the person who invented bulb.
Yes, he did it a lot of times.
Yes, he did it 9 times until the 10th time before it became successful.
Is it 9 times or 99 times actually?
Whichever one among them, but he failed so many times before he finally succeeded. So I don't see anything different from this.
What are you basing your positivity on?
Okay, what
I'm basing... With a lot of things right now that we're seeing that are very factual. The logo and everything was launched last week to take off in December. We're told about...
They gave us a program. Yeah. They said they will launch the logo in July, which they did.
They did.
And then they said in about 5 months' time, that's in December, the airline will take off, and it's going to take off with 5 planes, which is good. You see, we're not starting too big. You know, if you are starting something new, you need to start small and grow instead of starting big and then you are not able to maintain. But the question is right now, who
are the private investors? We don't know as at now.
Well, the government...
Which is 5 months to December.
They are already telling us that there are private investors, and they are also even looking at Ethiopian Airlines and so, because Ethiopian Airlines is a success for goodness sake.
To an extent.
Yeah, because they are running...
They have their own challenges too, which we alluded
Yeah, but they are a government carrier and privately run. So if they are a government carrier and privately run, I think we should also look at it from that point of view, that Nigerian Airways too can be managed like that. And the private sector, I am a private sector person, and I always believe that the private sector is the driver of businesses. We shouldn't leave it to the government.
Now, the question right now is, if you take a look at the private sector-driven airline we have right now, airline industry, because our airline industry is driven by private sector right now, the likes of Air Peace, Medview, and all of them. We've also seen that the operators in that airline industry have also expressed their doubts if this would definitely fly. That's one. And if they would also have a level playing field. We mentioned earlier, AMCON still has his hands in the soup, as we are right now. Arik, so indebted. Aero also has his own challenges and all of that. The airline industry is an industry that is capital intensive. The profit margin is not even so much as it were.
Yeah. Madam, I think we have to look at it this way. There is no business that doesn't have its challenges. The travel, hospitality, and tourism business generally is capital intensive. Definitely you need to invest a lot of money, and you have to wait for a longer gestation period. You don't invest today and you expect to reap tomorrow. It takes a longer time. But what we need to look at are what are the advantages? What do we stand to gain as a country, as also as an industry, if we develop this national carrier? This national carrier is not going to only benefit, us Nigerians. Look at it today now. We're doing Hajj operations. Right now, it started yesterday. We don't have a national carrier. All the time we need to go and, lease aircraft from other countries, or we start asking the local carriers to go and lease aircrafts for those who don't have before we start our operations. If we have a national carrier, all these things will be very easy and smooth. Because look at it, a flight that is supposed to take you from Abuja to Medina, which will take you about 4 hours, if you are taking either Egypt Air or Ethiopian Airlines or Emirates, you have to fly 5-7 hours, and then another 3 hours. You take 10 hours. A flight that will take you just 4 hours to go. Look at the time. Look at even the image of the country. A country as big as Nigeria should have its carrier. Please, let us be positive. Let us not be negative. This is our country. We cannot keep on saying we cannot succeed. We cannot succeed because we have failed in the past. I think what we have to look at is we should be positive and look at what are the ways, how do we succeed?
The question is, I don't think, especially, let me talk from my own perspective.
Yeah.
I don't think I could be cynical. I don't think I'm a cynical person or a very pessimistic person, because we have to be optimistic. No, the thing is that I'll take a look at all the business cases on the ground. You also take a look at your history and see that what you're doing right now, you're not replicating what happened in the past. That's what we're talking about. If Nigeria Air can commence, everything done well, all the shenanigans in that sector right now put right, I don't think that any Nigerian would sanely come out to say, we don't need a national carrier.
Now we have complained. All the issues have been brought up. Some people are on social media even being so negative, sending, why are we always feeling that we cannot make it as a nation? Why? Why do we think so? If these people have said, okay, they are going to do it between now and December, we have 5 months.
So let's give them the time.
Let's continue to press them. Let's continue to advise them. Let's guide them, and let's see if they will succeed. If they fail, then it is their failure. But for us as a nation, we cannot keep on. If somebody is trying to do something good, if you have a child and the child is trying to do something good, will you, because you think he's not going to succeed, will you continue to discourage that child? No. You have to support the child and then guide the child and see if he's really going to succeed. If he fails, then. Okay. Since the government, I think the minister is doing his best, the government is supporting him. Let us also, as Nigerians, as stakeholders, because for me, as a stakeholder in the travel business, I think I support it, because there are so many benefits in terms of employment, in terms of even the catering services that are going to be provided on the aircraft. In fact, the food that is going to be produced, the agricultural sector is also going to improve, because they have to be the ones to supply. It's a value chain. Therefore, there are so many people that stand to benefit. We're talking of unemployment. We're talking of insecurity. If these things come into being, it's going to help us a lot to guide us and then to help us.
So let me summarize what you're saying in essence, that as an industry expert, you think that the national carrier will be quite useful to the country in terms of it would contribute more to our GDP, it will create jobs, capital flights, especially from international
is going to
reduce. Would reduce,
yes,
and all of that.
Yes.
Okay, now let me let me address some of the questions I'm getting right now on Twitter. Chris Ajegba says, airline without aircrafts, how possible?
But that has been clearly said already, that the aircrafts are going to be gotten in phases between now. We've seen them discussed with Buoyant, we've seen them discussed with Airbus. So why don't we be patient? And they said we're starting with 5. When I spoke, I said 5 aircrafts is okay. And this is going to include both the domestic and international routes.
Now, the question also is that if 5 aircrafts will be
for
okay for a start,
yeah,
won't it also crowd out the existing private sector players? That's why the existing private sector players did call for a level playing field.
See, Nigeria is a very big market. Let's look at it that
way. But we're seeing that the airline industry has been having challenges. Forget the big market. Well, who are those even flying? Hold on, Mr. Kareem. Who are those even flying? What's our disposable income? We don't even have a very middle class right now. We're seeing that even passenger traffic has not really been on the boom in the past few months.
Let me tell you something. I'm a travel
what
agent.
Is big market?
I am telling you.
When people don't have money in their pockets.
Madam, I'm a travel agent, and I will tell you, check the statistics of number of flights coming into Nigeria. British Airways, Emirates, Ethiopian Airlines, where they fly into Nigeria, and the number of passengers they carry out of Nigeria on a daily basis. If you check, you will see the number of people that are moving out of Nigeria.
So you're saying that the way it is right now, our market can support
yes, we have the population.
The commencement of Nigeria Air as well as other industry players.
Exactly. You see, what we need to do is that some of these local carriers, what they need to do, you see, you cannot run an airline and when you have just 1 aircraft or 2 aircrafts and then you are not grounded, and then you go and buy some old aircrafts and then you think you want to run an airline. No. If the thing is, those that know that they cannot operate or they don't have the capacity to operate, they need to merge. There should be mergers. If you merge together, some of these local carriers, if they merge together, and then they can become stronger and they can be able to operate and become, you know, more effective in the market.
Okay, let's take this coming in from Mwachukwu Emeka. It's really disappointing to note the unwarranted criticism over a project that we in the that are in the primary stage. Why can't we wait and see before criticizing?
You see, this is my guy.
D Money says, Nancy, remember Air Nigeria well. Airline should be a private business. I don't believe this in Nigeria Air. I don't believe this Nigeria Air. Omogbala says it's time we stop doomsdaying. We must ensure this notion that because it failed in times past, it will fail again. All we need to do is to ensure all surrounding encumbrances that facilitate failure should be guided against. Let's trust this government for once. Chris says, how does an investment of only 5% make this airline majorly ours? I don't think it's, the government says it's going to be majorly Nigerian. It's going to be a PPP arrangement.
Yes, they said it's going to be, but what they said is that they don't want to have, you know, the ownership so that you just don't follow the line of the other ones that have failed.
Okay, so, Prince says, sorry to cut you short. Prince says, national airline is a good one, except I hope it's not a campaign strategy for 2019. Nigerians are wiser. Chijoke says the problem has never been a question of having a national carrier, but ways and manners of which the process is being carried out. I think that's what Nigerians are saying. It's not about criticism. I, for one, I do understand what I'm talking about. I don't just come out and criticize. No. There must be facts on the table. Check out the process and let's see we don't do it the same way.
Yes, let me give you an example of what happened. Remember when they are repairing the Abuja airport? There were a lot of criticisms. They said it was not going to work. They said there was nothing. Yes, there was nothing they didn't say. And this same minister, you know, vouched and said that if this thing doesn't work, he's going to resign. And let me tell you, if some few days before the date they gave, that thing worked. And look at it, that airport is fantastic now and everything is moving.
Is that airport fantastic?
No, no, for now it's
so. We shouldn't. No, if you have traveled,
I mean the work.
You will not, except this new one they are building now. When
I'm talking about the runway. It was only the runway they worked on. They didn't work on the building itself. The building is the one they are now they are working on. So if they do that, although they stand, I cannot say that for me as a Nigerian, I've traveled wide and I've seen airports all over the world.
Airports, fantastic
yes,
airports.
but this one is not enough. It's not the standard that we want in Nigeria. We need something better. So we're going to push them. We'll continue to push them to see that they do the right thing, because Nigeria deserve it, and Nigerians deserve something good and something better.
I want to say many thanks for coming on the program today and giving your own perspective. At least we've had the two perspectives today on the show. So, so nice to have you. I wish you a profitable week.
Thank you very much.
All right, I've been speaking with Rabo Saleh Kareem, the President, Federation of Tourism Association of Nigeria. You've heard his own perspective. He supports it. He said we should be positive about Nigeria for once. I also spoke with Ayobami in Lagos that gave us a history of what has happened down the line considering the national carrier. But let's keep our fingers crossed. Mr. Kareem has said, let's give the government a chance between now and December. For some people that have also tweeted, let's not be pessimistic. Let's see what happens between now and December. God willing, we will all be alive to see what would happen. Then we will definitely speak. Be the best you can be. I'm going to change that you want to see. I am Nnaji. I hope to see you all tomorrow, same time on this channel, with another topic entirely concerning the economy. I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye now.